My name's Johnty. I'm 27 years old and I'm the current owner and operator of Lucid Chocolatier. So it's just about 8 in the morning. Fired up coffee, get myself going. Just running through my standard morning admin. Waiting for this to kick in a wee bit, as you might be able to tell. Got Holly arriving soon. I'm gonna hopefully crank out some bars and whatnot today, but it seems like we might have a slight machinery issue, but we'll investigate that later. Check to make sure all the chocolate's been spinning as it should overnight, and everything seems to be good there. So all things considered, looks like it's gonna be a good day, gonna be a fun day for you to come along with us. Best part of my day is the first couple of hours after I have my morning coffee. In that moment, the whole day is ahead of me. Anything is possible.
Yeah, for
And I love that there's so many different things that could be done. As the day progresses, you gradually start running out of time, running out of energy, and eventually things get pushed back to the next day. A standard day for me, I think no 2 days are really the same. Sort of endless list of things that need doing, and I do them based on what becomes priority. Okay, so these have all just finished. It's the first roast of the day. So we're going to take them out, dump them into this container. So we can see the beans here. They're beautiful and puffy. If we were to take one, breaks open super easy. Always after the first roast of the day, I like to crack a few different beans and taste them to make sure that I'm happy with how they're tasting. Very nutty, very nutty. White beans tend to be sort of absent of those fruit notes, and they're both strong nuttiness and very low tannins, so they're very palatable. So we're happy with that. Gonna reload these, get another batch on, and we need to do about 4 of those to get enough finished nibs to make the chocolate that we want later today. I'm in the kitchen probably for about 8-9 hours, and I'm running admin for a couple hours as well. If there's things that need delivered in person, I'll go deliver those. Pretty much everything that the business does, I'm involved in some way, shape or form. Yeah, every day I'm definitely working pretty hard. Basically the beans that we were roasting this morning, we want to make them into chocolate pretty quickly. So we've got 2 machines here that we use for the cracking and winnowing, which is basically the process of separating the husk from the nib. This is known as the cracker. So basically in here, there's 2 sets of teeth that crush the beans. We put them in whole and they come out the bottom looking like this. Once we've got this, then we can start loading our winnower. Basically how it works is we put the mixture of husk and nibs at the top, and basically once the mass comes down into here, it starts trickling down like this. This part over here, which is attached to a vacuum, basically creates suction from the bottom back up and into here. We've got basically just husk. This can be used to brew tea, it can be used in skincare as an exfoliant. There's lots of uses for this. And then over here, we've got our beautiful finished nibs. The main goal is to essentially have no husk in here and have no nibs in there. We're going to fire up the winnower again. Very, very loud, but it has to be done. It's the basics, the fundamentals, like working clean, working professionally, all of those things that kind of come as a prerequisite to working in the kitchen. But the most important thing for me when making chocolates is thinking about the entire journey that the cacao beans or that my raw ingredients have taken to arrive in this kitchen in rural Wairarapa. Thinking about the people that have grown it and the people that have made it possible, and paying my respects in whatever way or whatever fashion that might be.
So what I'm doing here is brushing coloured cacao butter into our bonbon molds. So this one that we're doing here is an almond praline bonbon. So I'm creating a nice brown circle using a technique that I learnt in the States from Lucid Chocolatier. This one's very finicky, but it looks incredible if it's done well. So I've got about 150 cavities to go, so hopefully I'll speed up in a minute. So this is for a wholesale client in Wellington, and it's one that we've designed custom for them. They want a kiwi fruit and kawa bonbon. Black speckles to represent the kiwi fruit seeds, and then a beautiful deep green, hand painted to sort of suggest kiwi fruit and kawa. So working my way through the dots now, and then after that we'll get on to brushing the green. As I sort of mentioned this morning, our cacao butter tempering machine unfortunately was off overnight. So we have no way of tempering our chocolate other than the old school manual method. It's actually been a long time since I've done it by hand, but we need to make bars today and we don't have a tempering machine. So I'm gonna have to go old school and I'm gonna have to do it by hand. Just over 4 kilos of milk chocolate here. The reason that we're doing this is we need to temper the chocolate, and if you don't know what tempering is, basically it's the alignment of the fats and the solids in the chocolate which will contribute to a nice glossy bar with a good snap. When I started Lucid, I refused to buy a tempering machine at the beginning until I was confident in tempering like this, because it was something that I wanted to force myself to know how to do. So basically the chocolate has been melted up to 43 plus degrees. The bench is sitting at about 21 degrees. Now we're spreading it around the bench to sort of shock it and bring the temperature down. And so as we're sort of agitating the chocolate and as it cools down, it's going to trigger crystallization, assuming we take it through the right temperature ranges. We're aiming with this one to get it down to about 26 or 27. What I'm going to do now is transfer this over to our bain-marie, our electric bain-marie, give it a little stick blend, and then we're good to start making bars. The bar that we're making now is called Milk and Nibs. It's a classic 46% milk chocolate with cacao nibs spread on the back. We're going to work through it, Holly and I, and once we get going, we'll get in the zone, so we won't be able to do any talking. But yeah, this is how we're making some artisan bars. So we've made it to the end of the day successfully with very few hiccups. So we're just commencing the clean down in there, cleaning down all the surfaces, mopping, vacuuming the floor and that sort of thing, and then we'll be out of here. When you full send it into running a business, when you haven't studied how to run a business, or your only real experience is working within a business, you don't really know a lot of what actually makes it tick. Everything from accounting, organising boxes and packaging, stock management, marketing, creating social media, all of those things that you don't really put too much thought into when you decide I'm going to start a business. But I think you learn mostly from making mistakes. I guess what I've learnt overall is that you've got to make those mistakes and you've got to have those moments where things don't go exactly according to plan so that you can learn from them. It's about learning from that, experiencing and growing as a person, which is something I'm very glad I've been able to do since the start of this business until now.